Churchill once said that socialism is the philosophy of failure, the creed of ignorance, and the gospel of envy. It is the distribution of misery. And I'm afraid the Labour budgets completely sum this up in an absolute nutshell. We are trillions of pounds worth in debt, paying 100 billion every year just in interest. And Rachel Reeves thinks it's a great idea to spaff away 15 billion pounds more. Well, the UN uses tented camps.
Okay.
That's okay with the left, isn't it?
And
Calais migrant camps.
And where do those camps go, though?
Out to Hebrides.
This is our big Daily Express exclusive today. She is looking for a deal like Harry got, and she's going to dish the dirt on everyone.
Oh my God, a big tell-it-all.
Yeah.
I mean, it's better than OnlyFans, hey? I know she's desperate.
Welcome to Monday's Daily Expresso. I'm JJ Anisiobi. And as always, I'm joined by the resplendent Belinda DeLucy. To kickstart the week, Belinda, very, very welcome today.
Thank you. It's lovely to be here. How are you doing? You sound a bit sniffly, JJ.
I think I'm dying, Belinda. I don't want to exaggerate, but I think I'm dying. Yeah, Manfred, I've still turned up for you so I can do this show, but I think I'm going to go home after this recording and sleep it off.
Oh, you big baby. Get some Calpol down you, you'll be fine.
Right, now we are edging closer to Wednesday's make or break budget, and people from every corner of society are sweating on the impact it's going to have on their day-to-day lives. Now, it's widely considered that it's going to be a smorgasbord of tax rises, and her decisions are expected to damage growth. Let's go through some of the headlines and let's chat about what these will mean for the people. Rachel Reeves, the OBR, are going to downgrade growth forecasts for every year of this parliament. She's going to drag an estimated 9 million people into paying higher rates of income tax by freezing thresholds. She's expected to hit 100,000 properties with mansion tax. I'm okay with that. I don't live in a mansion, so I'm okay with that. Pensioners are going to be £800 a year worse off if she extends the income tax threshold freeze. This means around 9.3 million, or just over 3/4 of all pensioners, paying tax compared to 8.7 million today. And she's planning to raise taxes through targeting international students at our universities. Again, I'm okay with that. I think they should pay more for your international student. I don't care about that. What are your thoughts, Belinda?
Oh my God. Well, Churchill once said that socialism is the philosophy of failure, the creed of ignorance, and the gospel of envy. It is the distribution of misery. And I'm afraid the Labour budgets completely sum this up in an absolute nutshell. We are trillions of pounds worth in debt, paying 100 billion every year just in interest. Mm-hmm. And Rachel Reeves thinks it's a great idea to spaff away 15 billion pounds more on more welfare giveaways. I mean, this is dangerous economics for our country. This budget should all be about stimulating growth, cutting taxes and moving money around, especially because the Brits see so much of our tax money going out to foreign countries, to foreign nationals. 500 migrants are signing on to benefits every single day. 1.3 million foreign nationals have signed up to universal credit. These are the kind of areas I think that would be fair on the Brits to see being slashed. Then this punitive taxation, which is all that Labour knows how to do. Punish, punish, punish. And all they're going to do is benefit people who work in the public sector, or those already on benefits. Everyone else in between. For example, the mansion tax you brought up, and you said you were okay with it because it doesn't affect you. I don't own a
mansion. None of my friends own mansions, so we're fine.
Politics of envy, again, from the left. Listen, I rent. I don't own a property, but I think this would be a disaster. I think it would cause absolute havoc in the property market as people rush to sell, because it's a reoccurring taxation. So if your property is worth £2 million or more, you may think, oh, well, stuff the rich, stuff them. But a lot of older people bought houses, through their hard work at much, much less, and it's not their fault the prices have increases. They're going to be forced to move or have to pay between £5,000 and £20,000 every year on this wealth tax, and there'll be rushed sales. In France and Spain, actually, this tax was tried out, and it reduced property prices by 15% on the affected houses. Then you've got all the admin around it. How do you value property? It goes up and down all the time. Yeah. There'll be challenges. The bureaucrats that have to be employed to manage this wealth tax are going to be insane.
Yeah.
And I don't think it will raise enough money. But it's all ideological from Labour. We saw it with them putting VAT on private schools that have pushed 25,000 children into state classrooms, overburdening the teachers. Have you seen any more new teachers that were supposed to be employed by this, gain? No, absolutely not. Same with non-doms. We've got the Mittal family leaving now. That's the 7th richest family in Britain. They are running a mile. 250,000 Brits left last year. That is the only thing that's, I kind of think, yeah, go for it. But I also think, don't leave the battlefield. Stay with us.
What about targeting international students at universities? Again, I'm okay with that. I think that's what they should be doing.
I do think that when it comes to tax and raising money, you should look first to those coming into the country because they kind of have a choice about it, and it has to benefit Brits. Absolutely, international students, but a lot of universities have been so badly managed. They depend on international students now, and less Brits are getting places. And I think all the failing universities out there should change themselves into academies for construction workers, plumbers, electricians, and Brits get placed first on the list because Brits are looking at these budgets and tax rises, and a lot of them are thinking it's not for us. The houses Labour are promising to build 1.5 million. They're not for us. The taxes going up, are they going to benefit us? No. You've got cities worth of the size of Bristol coming in every year, and so they don't see any benefits being focused on Brits being first on the housing list, first in the job markets. And I think that social contract has been absolutely ripped up by Labour. And as far as the economy is concerned, I think we are going to go into a bit of a spiral. And I think it will scare the markets massively, what Labour are proposing to do. You can't have a £40 billion black hole like Reeves, screams about all the time and then keep spending. And scrapping the 2-child benefit right now, that's costing $3.5 billion. This is what they're suggesting. I think is madness, absolutely madness. Why now? Why, when we are in desperate need of minimising public spending, is Labour doing this? It's like being controlled, ruled over by a circus of ideological morons and permatine socialists, and they're totally and completely out of their depth.
Do you think we should take a leaf out of America's book? They've got their own problems with the black market, but in terms of jobs, they have to employ try and employ an American person first before it goes to someone who's not American. I think we should have that kind of ruling over here.
We should have always had it. I actually think it was Boris that scrapped that when he got into power. I know there's still love out there for Boris, but when you actually look into what he didn't just completely change the fabric of the country with mass open border immigration, but he took away things like, for example, under Theresa May, students had to wait at least, I think it's 2 to 5 years before they could, seek benefits as students when they were working. And Boris erased that completely. He's definitely caused a lot of damage to how we see immigration and how it benefits Brits. But I'm very concerned we don't have anyone capable in Westminster. In 2010, do you remember when Labour left the note for the Tories saying, oh, sorry there's no money left, good luck. I tell you what, when Labour leave at the next election, they'll leave a note saying, sorry, no country left, good luck, and Reform are going to have to pick up the pieces. That's how dangerous they are. Labour are a danger to the economy.
With this budget, who is being rewarded? Who is going to benefit from this?
Well, let me think about it. Definitely those who want large families. Apparently, the Financial Times was reporting some large families could be up to grab £20,000 more a year from scrapping the 2-child benefit cap. And of course, British-born parents, they average out about 1.4 child per family, but it is migrant families that have more children. So I think from a Brit's point of view, they're kind of seeing who will benefit and who won't, and it's just not fair on the taxpayer to supplement other people's decisions to have bigger families. The way you increase birth rates in this country is tax breaks. I mean, I don't want to go full Hungary and completely banish income tax for women who have 4 children or more. I mean, it's quite a good idea. I mean,
it works in several countries.
But I don't think it's fair on British families having to fork out for those who choose to have much, much larger families. Just live within your means, and let's make the housing supply better. Young people now don't want to have big families because there's no big houses they can afford to move into. So there's lots of reasons why people aren't having children. I think the scrapping the child benefit cap is crazy.
All right.
And do you know what else it goes to? Just quickly,
Go
which
on,
is really
go on.
funny. They're using this. So apparently, Rachel Reeves is going to give 1.5 billion to subsidise electric vehicles. That's what's coming up in the budget as well. What?
Great.
So no more prisons.
Wonderful.
No, hospitals are crumbling, but yeah, that's what they're going to
Yeah.
give money to.
Yeah, terrible. Well, let's see what she says anyway. Now, on to an anti-migrant protester in East Sussex who has urged fellow campaigners to stop paying council tax if asylum seekers are housed in a local military barracks. Sarah White called for a council tax boycott as angry campaigners marched through the town streets on Sunday carrying signs and flags in opposition to plans to temporarily house 600 male asylum seekers at Crowborough training camp. The site, which has been offered to the Home Office for a 12-month period by the Ministry of Defence, is one of just 2 barracks set to become temporary homes for asylum seekers. This is alongside Cameron Barracks in Inverness as part of the government's attempt to close down asylum hotels. So, do you think people should be boycotting their council taxes in situations like this? I mean, listen, when the government wants money, they want your tax, they're going to get it either way. So, I'm not sure this is the right thing to be doing.
JJ, no taxation without representation. And who are representing the people of Crowborough right now? Bearing in mind, this is being forced on them without their consent.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I grew up very near to Crowborough. I know the town well. It's a very small town, only about 21,000 people there.
Yeah.
It's one of those sort of leafy English places that Elon refers to as the Shires from the Lord of the Rings, that is getting dumped on them 600 unvetted men from often very violent, misogynistic countries. I think the risk to the community cohesion, to women and girls especially, I think is a crime that's been committed by the state on the British people. Mm-hmm. There was virtually no consultation with the people of Crowborough about this at all. The place where they're considering putting these 600 men is a cadet training ground. This is 5 minutes from schools. This is 5 minutes from the centre of town. And of course, they're free to roam wherever they like. And what's even sadder is that a lot of the parents in Crowborough now feel it's up to them to patrol the area. So they've got together a little group that have volunteered to try and protect their community because they don't feel the state is doing it. That's the kind of level of betrayal I think we've got to in this country. There are time and time again examples of not all migrants, not all asylum seekers, of course, but those from certain countries being more likely to commit sexual crimes against women and girls. Eritrea, Afghan, you just had that terrible story of that 12-year-old girl from Nuneaton being raped behind a pub by an Afghan asylum seeker who broke into our country on a boat from the safety of France. And these are reoccurring. Even terrorist attacks, if you think of the maternity hospital bombing, the Parsons Green bombing, the Reading slaughter of the 3 gay men, they were all done by asylum seekers. And I think having no vetting, having no filter of who comes into our country scares people. It scares residents. Some of the placards I loved at the Crowborough protest saying, stop rewarding, start deporting, because people are waking up to the fact that the British government, this is all deliberate. They are rewarding men who break into our country. 4-star hotels, services free, places at dentists and NHS, and it is a reward. The French mayor of Calais said, we are offering an El Dorado for everyone around the world who wants a better life. And I think it's terrifying. So, yes, I can understand why people are being urged to protest and urged to stop paying their council tax, because what else can we do? This has been forced on us. It hasn't been voted for, JJ.
But isn't it irresponsible activism? Because, as I say, OK, you don't pay your council tax. The government are still going to come and get that money from you. So then you end up getting fines. Some people are going to listen to this woman and say, oh, I'm not going to pay my council tax. And then they're going to have to pay even more money eventually.
So what else do you suggest? The British people have had their hands tied behind their backs. Westminster, the legacy parties have pretty much destroyed the ballot box, this peaceful vehicle of change. They have taken that away from us. We can't... I don't condone rioting or any criminal activity whatsoever. So what else can we do? And yes, you may end up getting fined, but if enough people do it, what a statement, what a message to send out. I just feel like we're trapped underwater with this, and we're suffering and we're paying the price. And every rape, every murder, every assault is on Westminster's hands. I mean, families should sue the government over this.
Yeah. Well, where else can we put them? Because we having asylum seekers in hotels, people were complaining, it's too much money, they're getting nice hotels, getting 3 meals a day. Now we're putting them in army barracks, which are less comfy, presumably, than a hotel, and it's still an issue. Now, of course, ideally, it'd be a case of anyone who comes illegally is instantly deported, but that's not how the law works currently in this country. So we're going to have to put them somewhere. So where else can we situate these people?
Well, the UN uses tented camps.
Okay,
that's okay with the left, isn't it?
And
the Calais migrant camps.
And where do those camps go, though?
Out to Hebrides. I honestly, this is too big a risk to the British public to even question about. They should be placed in tented camps at the lowest cost to the British taxpayer as possible, guarded so that they're not allowed to leave the camps. I would make an exception for women and children because the thing is, women and children are at risk from fellow asylum seeker men of rape and assault too. I know there was a migrant hotel in London that had to hand out rape sprays to asylum seeker women to protect them from the asylum seeker men in the hotel. So it's not just about British women that are impacted by this. But yeah, tents, because that will send out a message, a deterrent. If you come over here, you're going to have a leaky tent. You get a dry bit of bread every day, and then let's focus on an asylum system that's fair, and we can take from the UN camps those most at need. Cap them at 10,000, bring them over here a year. That's fair. You can't say you're a supporter of refugees while you're happy for all this money to be redirected to these healthy, relatively wealthy, fit men coming over from France. It's a disgrace. So yeah, tents in the Outer Hebrides is fine with me.
Okay. Just weeks after Andrew was stripped of his royal titles, insiders have been warning that the former prince and Sarah Ferguson are both struggling intensely with this new shame. Now, as they brace themselves for their upcoming eviction from Royal Lodge, Andy and Fergie are apparently in a very bad way, with their confidence said to be extremely concerned for their mental health. Boo-hoo. And in a world exclusive, I can reveal that Fergie is hoping to cash in on her life with a multi-million-pound tell-all book deal. You heard it here first. This is our big Daily Express exclusive today. She is looking for a deal like Harry got, and she's going to dish the dirt on everyone. Not just Andrew.
Wow.
Things about the Queen we didn't know, things about Prince Philip we didn't know, how she was treated, how she felt when she was booted out of the family, how she was treated after she got caught sucking that man's toe at the beach.
God. Oh my God, a big tell-it-all.
Yeah.
I mean, it's better than OnlyFans, hey? I know she's desperate.
She might make a few bob on that. There's people into that kind of thing, I gather.
Kind of niche there, but there is.
She has no money left, so this is it for her.
No money left.
This is her big final payday.
I do think there is something really disturbing about these kind of, I'm in trouble, so I'm going to dish the filth on everyone I know and bring them down with me. I just feel that's so unprincipled and undignified, and I really take umbrage at those in the royal family who have misbehaved, who have quite rightly got consequences, then turning their spite against the royal family, because it is attacking an institution. And, the monarchy is a personal embodiment of the flag for us. It's not about whether you like a certain king or queen. It is the institution that binds us together for 1,000 years. So these attacks on the institution, for me, it's threatening behaviour and will only cause more harm and reduce the monarchy's popularity in the polls. But Sarah Ferguson, she's been a bit of a naughty, fiery redhead since she was on our screens, hasn't she? It's the toe sucking. It's I don't think they're not evil. These people, they're far more monstrous people out there, but they have abused their privilege. And if I was born in the royal family, that incredible honour of privilege, I would have behaved like a nun, like the Queen did, and not used it to hoi polloi with the rich and famous and try and get freebies. And I think, unfortunately, Andrew and Sarah may be a little bit guilty of that, but Sarah being thrown out of her charities, I think, was quite humiliating. But
the right thing to do.
But the right thing to do. And remember, Sarah's committed no crime.
No.
I know, but
neither's Andrew. Neither's Andrew.
He hasn't been charged with any. It's true. I think the two of them should just go off and run a little pub called Punch and Judy down in John O'Groats and keep away and earn a decent living like the vast majority of Brits have to do. Get up at 6 o'clock in the morning. Go and freaking sing for your supper. This constant airing of dirty laundry. It's what Prince Harry did. It's really distasteful. But are you going to buy it, JJ?
Absolutely.
You would, yeah.
I'll get a freebie. I know someone.
You'll get a freebie.
I'll definitely get a freebie. Andrew Loney, the historian and biographer, we had him on the show a few weeks ago. He said that Fergie has crazy opulent taste, and she'd go on holiday with like 50 suitcases and half of them would be empty, so she could fill them with things that she's going to buy when she's abroad. I'm not sure 10 million quid will be enough for her.
No, it'd probably last a month, maybe.
Yeah.
But it's a bit Marie Antoinette, let them eat cake. You know, it's a bit in your face, especially as so many people are struggling in this country to sort of see that level of opulence. Listen, I don't begrudge anyone who's wealthy, good for you, have the time of your life. But with that comes responsibility. And I think her schmoozing up to Epstein after he was charged.
Yeah.
You know, because I do, the people I really think about and I'm concerned about is the girls as young as 14 that were trafficked and abused by Epstein's network. And as much as, you know, I bet Andrew and Sarah's mental health is dipping a little bit at the moment, we do live in a new world where it is trial by Twitter, trial by social media. And I do hate that. I think that is quite a terrifying prospect for anyone who makes a mistake. But this is the royal family. This is linked with child abuse affiliations.
Yeah.
It is huge.
Yeah.
And I think the sooner they just pipe down a little bit. Sarah, can you at least wait, 5 years and just give the royal family a break? You've got Catherine, who's been through cancer, Charles, who has cancer. Let them recover a bit before you throw any mud.
No. She's got to strike while the iron is hot. Whilst we're still interested,
brutal.
whilst there's people out there willing to part with their hard-earned cash to read about what her and Andrew did at Buckingham Palace, she's got to do it now.
Well, maybe she can give some of the profits to the victims of Epstein.
Oh, well, that would be superb.
I think that might earn her a few brownie points.
That would be fantastic. I don't think she's going to do that, though. I doubt it. I very much doubt it. She wants every penny for herself so she can buy another palace to go and live in.
Yeah.
But
so
with Andrew and Sarah apparently struggling with their mental health, do you feel sympathy for them? Because I don't feel sympathy for them. I really don't. This has all been brought on by themselves. If you told me you were friends with Epstein and you knew he was a paedophile and you wrote him a letter afterwards saying, "Oh, you're a supreme friend of mine. I love you. I miss you," I'd be like, you deserve everything you get then.
No, I don't feel sorry for them.
Good answer.
I don't feel sorry for them. There has to be consequences. A message needs to be sent out, no matter who you are, whether you're royal or whether you're just a street cleaner. If you meet up or are friends with or support, encourage, anyone that is involved in human trafficking, especially after all the grooming gang cases we have, you have to be held to account. And it just so happens people around the world love a story about a prince. They love a story about the royal family. This is where why I think the attention's so firmly on Sarah and Andrew and less about all the other Americans on the list, is because it is the rise and fall, the drama around these. I mean, there'll be a film probably made about this.
Yes.
You had, what was that royal Netflix series, not Downton Abbey, I can't remember, but anyway, they absolutely loved they love the coronations, they love all the pomp and ceremonies, but they love the Shakespearean knavery and treachery in the royal family. It's so juicy. So Sarah's book may do well, and if she's not going to donate to the victims of Epstein, she can donate some to the victims of the Pakistani grooming gangs in this country. Good
shout. Very good shout. Now it's late November and we're all getting into the Christmas spirit, or are we? An Amazon delivery driver is under investigation after throwing a child's Christmas present straight into the ground. He didn't realise he was caught on a video doorbell, though. The courier was filmed throwing a box full of plastic toys while dropping off Emma Drake's parcel in Wellingborough, Northamptonshire. Here's a clip. Now, Belinda, this isn't very Christmassy, is it? It's terrible behaviour from this man.
Well, it's a bit Scroogey, isn't it? I mean, he's definitely going to be on Santa's naughty list, that's for sure. Listen, as much as you can say, oh, there's a lot of pressure on delivery guys, around Christmas time, they don't have a lot of time. I'm sorry, it's no excuse. And you don't deliver something by throwing it at a door. That isn't delivery. No. That is, it's a bit about that sort of high trust versus low trust society as well. It's Christmas time. These could be presents. Take a bit of care but that's obviously declining in this country very sadly. Look, Amazon is worth how much? $2.36 trillion, right? That's how they can afford more delivery guys. Obviously, offer them to British, so put the jobs to Brits first. Our unemployment is insane at the moment. But I don't think there's any excuse for it. He is going to rue the day he did that. Now it's on camera for all to see. But I'm glad it was caught on camera. I do think people need to be called out a bit for bringing a brand into disrepute and making people feel like, gosh, no one cares anymore. No one has that kind of affinity with your neighbour. Well, not no one, of course, it still happens in communities, but there's sort of those employed, don't you care? It's just Christmas time. It was kids' toys. It's too sad. So there's a bit of Krampus. Anyone watch the movie? It's the scariest Christmas film in the world ever about what he did. And, I hope he gets called up on it.
I mean, I've got to say, my delivery driver in my area is very good. He'll call if I'm not in and say, I've left it behind the stairs for you, sir. I'm like, thank you, Jim. So they're not all bad.
No, they aren't. Most are good. I agree, but I think people are seeing perhaps a higher rate of lack of care over things like that. I certainly, open my door, the doorbell hasn't rung and there's a package there. They haven't even notified me. And of course, we've also seen clips go viral of people nicking parcels outside front doors. But on the whole, of course, they're trying to do a job. But I just hope this isn't a continuation. This isn't a running theme that's going to impact. My postmen, by the way, are absolutely lovely. I invite them in for tea when it's raining.
Oi, oi.
Just tea, JJ. Oh my gosh.
Well, on that bombshell, I think we'll leave it right there. Thank you, Belinda, as always. And thank you for watching. Join us again tomorrow where we are joined by Layla Cunningham. Bye-bye.